Greetings and welcome, everyone. It's All You Can Geek Gamecast, episode 496. I'm one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Mike Sneedy.
What's up?
Corey Feinsod.
Yo.
And Tony Korkanakis.
Hello.
Welcome, listeners and viewers, to 496 of the Gamecast. We've got a topic tonight for you guys, clearly on the minds of a lot of gamers. If you watch the Xbox premiere gameplay video stuff, we're going to be talking about that, the inside Xbox, or Xbox 20/20, as they call it. So we'll be talking about that tonight. First things first, let's kick off what we've been up to, guys. I finished Final Fantasy VII Remake. So I loved playing that game. Like, really, you know what's crazy is I think as I got closer, knowing I was closer to the ending, I really started to tinker more with my materia slots and changing those around. I ran into one big glitch. So I will say that I did I don't want to give away too much. Sorry. There was a certain string of fights that I did and I spent an hour on. And then I went into a certain spot in the game and my game froze to the point where twice it happened. So there's like a glitch in the game. I ended up skipping those fights. I did a lot of them. I did the first two and that was it. And then I left them and skipped listening to any story that was happening in the next section so it wouldn't freeze on me. So I did have a pretty bad glitch there. It was annoying because, like I said, the first time I did it was I spent literally like an hour doing the fights and then doing the cutscenes and getting ready and then joining this next section and then watching the conversation happening, and then the game froze where I couldn't leave. And I'm like, it had to have autosaved, right? I'm like, it's got to have autosaved. I checked. I'm like, in the past hour, there was no autosaves. Are you kidding me? I leveled up like 3 times. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, why was there no autosave? There's a Coliseum fighting kind of thing, and I did that part to keep it vague. And I did that. And there was no auto-saving during that, and I leveled up like crazy. And then if you're in a vent anywhere in the game, Corey, if you're in a vent, don't look through the grates. Just skip it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
I didn't. I mean, I did that. Nothing happened.
I know. It must have not. I'm telling you, I would have heard about it if it was a big problem. It was not. It just twice it happened to me. I'm like, you know what? Fucking skipping this. I'm not dealing with it right now. Because I was near the end. But I was paying so much attention to the materia and stuff. But man, that game is it looks amazing, incredible. And it got even better, it felt like, as the game went. It felt like they finished the game first and worked on that the longest. Because the ending cutscenes looked incredible. The game was great. It played fantastic. Can't talk enough about it. It's my game of the year right now. There's no question in my mind. It's just a matter of what else is coming out. And I can tell you, I'm playing another game called Doom Eternal. So Doom Eternal is out, and it's butter.
Don't forget about Ori, Jim. You could talk about that.
Oh, it's fantastic too. Ori was
a lot.
Yeah, Doom is pretty good. I wouldn't say it's fantastic, but it's pretty good. It's not I'm not great at the game, so that kind of cuts into it a little bit. I am playing on easy mode in this game, and I'm still getting close to getting killed. Because I guess there's some weird strategy in the game where you're supposed to just constantly move and such, but it's so butter smooth. It's great. It runs 60 frames constantly, right? Locked frames on my Xbox One X. A lot of platforming so far, which is different, I guess, from any Doom game before. There's a lot, grab lower hanging walls. You can double jump, which in a Doom game I think is crazy to think about. But mostly it works pretty well with that. You don't misjudge it because you can grab the side of the wall and pull yourself up if you misshort it a little bit most of the time. So you can find hidden areas this way. The only thing I find a little bit annoying so far is the individual, certain weapons deal better damage against certain enemies. And it's I understand what they're going for with that, but you have to remember, okay, this guy's here as well. So you're in a room full of things, like different creatures, and you have to remember, okay, what's the best strategy for taking this out first? Because it's going to cause so much damage. So I've started to learn that a little bit in this game, but it's good. It looks great. The music is good, really good. I like the music. So, but not as good as Final Fantasy though. It's good though, but I'm glad I'm getting to it. I can play through it, and it looks like I'm doing well on my game schedule. Thank you for the pandemic lockdown. The only reason why I'm getting through these games is because of this thing. And now that my work has settled down a little bit, I've been able to jump a little more time into some games and relax a little bit more because I was working literally 24/7 before this. And, this week and last week have been a lot quieter, which is great. So I'm enjoying Doom. It's a different change of pace from Final Fantasy, obviously. So it's a different style game, and it works well to jump into after this because it's more just mindless shooting and not like Final Fantasy had a good cadence and the way you fought. I got into a nice rhythm of the way I'd like to play my characters, and this is awesome because it's a shooter. So I'm enjoying that for what it is, as Corey says. So that's what I've been up to really. So, Corey.
Yeah, I got to play a lot more Final Fantasy this weekend due to Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day, all you moms. Yeah, so my kids were with Sonia essentially, and so I got to play a little bit more. And I pulled a gym a little bit, not so late in the game, but I did not realize you could level up your weapons.
Oh,
So
wow.
I was playing like probably 10 hours at least without
knowing this. It's very easy to
this.
forget that. Especially if you get new weapons, because they don't auto set the level up thing.
Yeah,
so
I was like,
get you.
I was like, whatever. Like I had no idea. And then I'm like, whoa, I've got like 60 points to spend now. So, might as well buy everything. But yeah, so it didn't really affect it too much because I was still kind of blowing through everything anyway. I was like, oh well, this kind of helps here and this
It'll
helps
help
here.
you massive more. Like if you're doing magic points and stuff, like it definitely helps with that.
Right. No, I mean now I was like, well, this makes more sense to do these things and all that. So, yeah, it's been a lot of fun, and I'm excited to get back into and finish it at some point. But
I would give you a suggestion: is make sure you play around with linked materia, like really play around with that a little bit, because that does absolutely come into play. Like I didn't play enough with that earlier on, and I felt like if I did, it would have been even better for me in fights. I realized later on, I'm like, oh wow, that really does nice. That like, holy shit, that does a lot of damage. Holy shit, that's a big cure. So, I realized that late, and I just give you that tip. But, yeah. So go on.
Yeah, no, and that's pretty much it on the video game side. Played some more board games online, and played some stuff with Tony. And
cool.
we got to play a tabletop MOBA game, which actually, the more I think about it, the more I was like, I liked it. It's called Guards of Atlantis 2. It's on Kickstarter right now, actually, and they have a demo, four character demo online through Tabletop Simulator and Tabletopia, and basically it gives you an idea of what the game's going to be like when it comes out. And it was a lot of fun. I thought it was good, even though we were kind of losing initially. I didn't feel like we were out because there was another win condition that we could have pulled off, but the teamwork I think is really important, and synergizing with your characters, and obviously just playing once, it really was hard to kind of figure that out on the first playthrough, and so I definitely want to play it again to see how that kind of works out and stuff, and especially and try other characters too. So
cool.
I'd recommend it.
Cool. All right, Tony.
Nothing new.
Oh,
Same stuff.
Mike.
I've been all over the place. I've played, still playing more Yakuza, just feeling like I want to continue the open world quest storylines. Like, it's hard to even describe what they are. It's just...
You haven't moved on to the next Yakuza yet? Still in the same one?
Yeah, I'm not doing the K-word one, which is the remake of the original, I believe. Yeah, no, because I want to. There's like it takes a lot of like in-game currency to sort of progress these like the main quests of the open worlds that you're in. So it's a little bit of a grind, but it's it's something to do, and I just want to see the higher level abilities the characters have as well. So I'm still doing that. Then I've been with my friends online playing some Rocket League and Apex Legends, and Apex is turning over another season 4 to 5. There's a new character coming, so that'll be interesting to see. I think that's happening tonight, actually. And then I jumped back into Jedi Fallen Order because it's got its update with the challenges.
Yeah.
Cool.
And so going back in, these are really hard. So for the challenges, there's 10. They have a certain amount of waves of enemies, and you get 1 star for just surviving it, beating it. You get another extra star if you do it without healing at all, and then you get another star if you don't even take damage. I have no illusions of ever getting more than 1 star on any of them. I don't see how it's possible. But they're fun. I've got through about 3 of them. I'm just no 2 of them. I'm at the very end of the 3rd one. I keep getting killed, but I'm trying. And then there's also the battle grid mode where you sort of put your own arrangements together. And that's pretty cool because you can even do some modifiers, which I haven't explored yet. The only problem with this is I crashed the game twice doing it. This new mode is maybe unsurprisingly quite buggy. I had a frame rate drop like to slow motion at one point, which was weird because I felt that kind of happening before, and I switched to performance mode to do that because I minded before in this game too much, just having it high res and lower, like occasionally like a little bit slower. Because when I switched to performance mode in the regular gameplay, I just felt like I was in like some weird fast motion thing going on, so I didn't like it. But here I switched to it specifically because I felt like with the amount of enemies happening at once, it was starting to become a thing. But then even doing that, it went real slow, and then it like crashed. I don't know. It was weird. This new mode needs a little bit of polishing that they didn't do, but whatever. The one big thing though about the battle grid is you have a new boss character you can fight. You can fight all the bosses from the game, which is pretty cool. It's about what you would want after you beat this game. But there's also the dark version of the main character. We all played this already, right?
I have not, but it's fine. I mean, I've
That's
been
fine.
spoiled.
Yeah. It's been out long enough.
It's not really a spoiler. It's also sort of listed as it's also a skin you can get if you play the New Game Plus. Which
Yeah, you gotta always find your dark side. It's a Jedi fight at some points.
So he's a totally new boss you can fight in this battle grid mode, and he is quite difficult. I didn't even know like I was getting like completely like no damage on him, and he was beating me a few times, but I finally did it after a while. So it's good. The gameplay, it's definitely a change of pace. It's been a while since I played it, so I was pretty bad, but I'm getting used to the rhythm of it again. But this definitely is much needed, I think, for replayability in this game, and it's a pretty healthy chunk of gameplay for something that was free.
That's cool.
So
it's for a game that sounds like once you get through it, it's not really a reason to go back to. Like you gotta get that longevity.
Yeah, I do wish there was some more like open-ended or like more interesting sort of alternate like challenge objectives other than just like not getting damage. But I would have preferred like do a certain move to a certain character, or something more interesting. Like I guess more in line with the Arkham type of challenges. But so it's not gonna be like something I would go back over and over again. But there's definitely a lot more to do, and if you really love the combat and want to like get even better at it and try to like fight all of the bosses at once, which is kind of like something you can do, you can do it now. So it's definitely needed for a game that was kind of done after the main quest.
Right.
Unfortunately, yeah. I wish they had some story stuff, but maybe we'll get that with the sequel, which I hope we get announced soon.
Well, you better get some story with the sequel.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like DLC story and stuff. Maybe they'll plan on that a little more this time.
I don't know. We'll see.
So, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. All right. Let's see. Let's get into some news. We've got our topic tonight, but first off, let's kick off with some news. Let's see. What do I want to bring up first? Oh, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 remaster. I think we bring that up. That's the news today. Broke on Summer of Games from Jeff Keighley. Talked about this. He had a surprise for us today, and that's the announcement. So they got a nice remaster. I mean, they look really good. Yeah. All the skaters are back from those. Most of the songs, or some of the songs they got back from 1 and 2. Obviously, that was the big holdup of the remakes to begin with. But it's quite awesome to see this. I saw this earlier that Tony Hawk was texting people that this is coming out today. And then it broke on Twitter on the reveal, obviously. But he was texting people, and people were posting it on Twitter. So it was interesting to see that this was finally announced. So coming from Activision, launching on September 4th for $39.99. Will be on Xbox One, PC, PS4. So, right? Yeah. Yes. Looks good. Looks awesome.
Yeah, visually looks fantastic.
And these are both games bundled together, kind of.
Yeah. It's a good value. $39.99 for that. I mean, these games look great. Did you see the pic?
Yeah, they really yeah, they look. It's hard to even tell. Like I thought it was like a real person, like, a little bit here and there.
Yeah. It looks really good. So pretty surprised that they did that good of a job and then to release it at $39.99 is crazy. So
it's curious if it feels the same. We'll see.
I mean, they're doing with their Crash and Spyro stuff, so I'm not surprised.
Yeah, it's very similar. Like, and also Ashley's excited about this as well.
Yeah.
She liked these games back in the day, so we'll be getting that for sure. And honestly, when I think of Tony Hawk, I remember the first two. I know my brother was more into Underground and those later ones, but these are the ones that I remember from the series the most.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Well, these remakes have been like money. These just like printing money for
money.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
They've been definitely, yeah. So, let's see what else we have. PlayStation Studios has a new opening animation. Well, they have PlayStation Studios was announced for their exclusive games coming to PlayStation 5. They'll be branded with this PlayStation Studios icon or logo, which has a eerily familiar opening sequence, which I thought was hilarious. So I put it back in the news here that Tony shared with us. You guys saw the intro? Very, very. I saw a lot of people saying it was a very Microsoft Xbox Studios kind of thing, but I'm like, it's Marvel. That is a Marvel Studios ripoff.
Marvel just switched to that. They used to have the pages going, and now they have it doing.
They've been doing this for over a year now.
Yeah, okay. They were doing the pages for a real long time though. Before that.
Yeah,
it's funny because like the DC, like these like Warner Brothers, like DC Comics movies and stuff, they just followed whatever Marvel did. Also, it's like, well, we're just gonna copy what Marvel's doing too, and then now it's going into the game side of things.
Yeah. So,
and it's a good sequence. I mean, it's pleasant to see, so it works.
I just wonder how many of those characters are gonna come back because it starts with like Nathan Drake. Are we gonna see any more of him ever?
I think we do. I think we see it.
We got like Ratchet and Clank in there somewhere too. I think.
Corey, I'd make a bet. PlayStation 5 generation, we get another Uncharted game.
Yeah, but you get Nathan Drake.
In the game, yes. In the game, yes.
No.
Playable, no.
No way they're not gonna make another Uncharted.
I'd take that bet.
No way.
I'll make another Uncharted, but are we gonna get like
I don't
what's the
think
name of the
Nathan
daughter?
Drake is in the game.
You don't think Nathan Drake would be in the game?
No.
I want to.
They did Uncharted without Nathan Drake already.
Yeah, I know. But
was that more DLC?
Let them.
It was almost DLC, but they made it into a game.
It was a good game on its own, but it's still based on them knowing Nathan Drake.
Oh, I mean, not really.
Well, they knew Nathan Drake, but he's not in the game at all.
No,
it's not like
you met these characters you met a character in the game before, but it's not like.
I thought they met each other through Nathan Drake. Am I wrong?
I'm not sure.
I thought that's the way their story began.
No, sure, but let's argue about it.
So
I've even played one of these fucking games.
Yeah, I thought it was really good, but I think we'll see it on PlayStation 5. So
I want to play.
Uncharted will still live. It's just Drake. We'll see.
Bring back old Drake, 50-year-old Nathan Drake. Let's do it.
He's Sully. He's the next Sully. You watch.
Sully will be there. He'll be 80. It's fine.
Sully won't be going on these missions, but yeah, he'll be there. All right. We've got Ubisoft tweeting out today, save the date for July 12th for a digital showcase from them. So we're getting their direct. Their E3, I'm guessing, conference, a little delayed. And I have a feeling like, not to get ahead of our topic, but I have a feeling that we're going to get the Xbox Game Studios conference around the exact same time. I feel like we're going to get a bunch because Jeff Keighley also said he has a bunch for July as well. So maybe that's because of the rescheduling from E3. Maybe this is when we're going to get that outbreak.
Really, Jim?
No pun intended. Yeah, poor choice of words, I guess. Did not mean that, but yes. But yeah, I think that's about when I think I wouldn't be surprised if right around the same week here is when we get a lot of gaming news, July 12th.
Yeah, that makes sense. Everybody was kind of gearing up for that anyway, so now they just give themselves a little extra time.
Yeah, at some point, that buffer they will probably secretly wanted. Now they're going to get.
When does Ghost of Tsushima come out?
End of July, is it? I don't know. August?
I thought it was July 17th. It's July 17th, right?
I'm pretty sure it's July, but it might be August.
Yeah, I'm almost certain it's July.
Yeah.
Because it's June 19th for The Last of Us 2, right?
It's 1 month, yeah.
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 So I think that maybe we get a PS5 also around.
Oh, we're
this
getting a
time?
Ghost of Tsushima State of Play this week. So
Yes, we are. That's the other
Thursday
big
or
news we have.
tomorrow or Thursday, something like
It's
that.
an 18-minute reveal of the game. So
There was a lot of
how-
info on Reset Era. I don't know if you guys
Yeah.
saw that thread.
Is it going to be gameplay?
Yeah,
I would hope so.
Is
they
gameplay
say
really
that
gameplay?
in the thing.
Good, because it's questionable nowadays with these streams, as
Fair
we'll get
enough.
into in a little bit.
It's very
It is
true.
very fair to say that, as we'll get into in a second here. Nintendo fiscal year 3 of 2020, the quarter 4 earnings for them, very good, very good. 55.77 million Switch hardware sales year to date, life to date. That's impressive. Good turnaround for Nintendo, killing it. And they're selling like you still can't get them. You can't get the fitness adventure game, the Switch. What is it called?
Ring Fit.
Ring Fit. Thank you. We can't get that still. You can't hardly get Switches
right now.
Yeah,
You can't get
you
a
can't-
Switch. Retail.
I thought about selling mine, like flipping it, because it was so. I'm like, I could take a break and not play this right now and come back, but nah, it's all right. I didn't sell it. I forgot to tell you, I've been playing Lego Worlds. So I completely forgot.
That was
about
on sale. I
Yeah,
think.
that's why I got it. I got it from me, and like I said, I have a 7-year-old here, and she loves Legos, but she's been asking me to play a video game for a while. And I'm like, yeah, Lego games work. I was expecting it to be like a normal Lego game, like we played, where it's an adventure kind of style game, and you can just run around and pick up blocks and jump on enemies. This is like a Lego building game. Like you actually build stuff in the game. So it's virtual Legos. It's pretty impressive. We're building a house together. It's pretty awesome. So we're enjoying that quite a bit on the Switch. It was on sale for like $11, so I picked it up.
Yeah, I saw that sale. It was pretty good.
So I thought it was a good time. I do wish we had gotten. I think she would have done better with an adventure game than this to start, because she doesn't really know the controller, but she's doing okay.
I think Lego City, like the police one, is like basically GTA in Lego form. So.
Yeah, I was thinking about getting that for us. That's what I thought about getting, but this was a little bit cheaper, and I knew that if she didn't like it, that's like less to invest just in case. So, but yeah, I mean, great numbers for Nintendo. Anything else from this list? Did we get more on this post?
Well, let's see. The highlights here were they sold 21 million units for the fiscal year, which is the highest of any console manufacturer in, I think, a decade or something like that. I think the Wii days at least, or something like that.
Yeah.
Which is pretty significant. And let's see. The other thing was Animal Crossing sold 12 million units in like 3 weeks, 2 weeks, whatever.
Less than a month.
Something like that. Yeah, less than a month. Which just goes to show how insane that game is doing.
Yeah.
Due to the virus and everything like that.
Good timing, right? There's the right game at the right time, and just it was a lot of factors. But I think also them polishing it, making it what it should have been, like what it could be, like instead of what people were like, oh, this is feeling like shortchanged or something. They definitely took the time to make it the game it needed to be.
Yep, absolutely. And then the other highlight is was their 4th highest operating income of their entire company history. So, yeah, very good turnaround from Wii U, stinker to insane.
Yeah, they did well.
They're keeping pace with PS4, I think, last I looked.
Yeah, that would put them on.
So they're tracking along that same pace right now. So
yeah, wow.
We'll see how it goes for the future, because they still haven't had a price drop, which is impressive. You think they've been out for 3 years and no price drop. So
I mean, it's helping that the other consoles are still above them price-wise most of the time, depending on when you can find them deal-wise. But like the Xbox One X, it's tough. Now you can start finding it underneath it. So I think a price drop will happen soon from them. But right now they're selling out of stock.
Did
so
we predict
why
a price drop this year? I don't know if we did a bold prediction.
It was someone's bold prediction, I think.
No, I think
it was more of an upgraded model or something.
Yeah, I said upgraded model for the same price. I think is what I said. Like a pro model for the same price, and just cut this existing SKU out.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing is, like with the light, you can't go too low, Yep. But we'll see. It'll be interesting.
Yep. All right. Let's see. I think that's it for news. Is that all we have? Yeah, I think that's it. So let's get into our topic, guys, which is the Xbox. Well, because the other bit of news we have does kind of tie into this. The Xbox conference. Just shortly on the news, Ubisoft confirms that Assassin's Creed Valhalla is running at currently 4K at 30 frames per second. Not 4K 60 frames per second as we were hoping to hear.
And this is on Series X, right? So
this is on Series X. Yeah. I don't know what that means for us. If that means we're not getting these 60 frames like we hope for these games, that's ridiculous. Because just the specs wise alone, I thought that fits a regular PC that can do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but anyways, let's talk about this Inside Xbox reveal, and then talk about reveals in general. Not for Mike. I'm talking about the frame rate.
I understand that because of the 4K nonsense, it has to be that low.
Yeah, I don't know why. Why not just run it less resolution and give us 60 frames locked? That's what I don't get. I don't get that at all.
Because there are people that want the 4K, Jim. Like, it's so silly. They see that first. They don't understand.
I understand 4K. I love 4K, but I also understand frame rate, and I love frame rate more. So I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. I have a beautiful OLED TV in my living room that looks awesome in HDR 4K. It does. But I would sacrifice 4K for frame rate any day. It's not going to be under 1080p. 1080p for your TV, if you have a good enough one, auto upscales to 4K anyways. So you still get a pretty good resolution from it, but you get the 60 frames.
I mean, again, like, I go back and forth. The only things that I really care about frame rate on are first-person shooters and fighting games. Like, these action games, I don't care if they're at 30 frames per second, to be honest.
Yeah. All right. I don't know. We'll see. Let's go through the reveal first here. I have to say that this is not how you do a reveal, in my opinion. I don't know if anybody's going to disagree with me on this situation. Like, does anybody disagree that this was great?
I feel the word reveal is a little strong.
Yeah, so I feel like that's the problem. Like, why, if you're Microsoft, why do you choose? You should lead with your best foot, like first step forward, your best step, right? Forward, first time.
This happens when you don't have to be forced to do everything all at once. You spread stuff out, and now you get some half-assed bullshit.
Why start with your third-party games? Like, why? Why not just start with your first party or reveal like console pricing or do something first? This is your first impressions from this console, and this is what you bring to the table. I think that this was a bad idea. Like, I'm not saying that the third-party games didn't look good. They looked okay, but they're third-party games, so they're not going to be as optimized for your system as your first-party games will. So why not put your best foot forward and then...
Well, you want to build to something too, I guess. I think it's almost like they had a E3 conference and they just split it up.
But why lead with third-party? Why choose third-party?
Because that was what was first.
They also ended with third-party too, so...
They didn't show anything third-party on this review.
No, this is all third-party. It was all third-party.
No, I mean, but no, like... As if they had to like reveal all of this at once, they would open with something like this just because they knew that people would be waiting for the better stuff.
It could have been, like Tony, I think you said it best. It could have been a sizzle reel. It could have really been a sizzle reel. It was like
that's what it should have been.
It felt like a sizzle reel.
And don't come out saying gameplay reveal of games when you're giving us these tech demos from these are like E3 tech demos. They all had the writing underneath them that says running on concept hardware of what this should look like when it's running on the Xbox One, Xbox Series X.
In engine.
Yeah.
The keywords in engine. What does that even mean?
I would say 75% of the games that we saw said that, which means if you're watching this, guys, and you're listening to us talk, it's not real. Listen to me now. Mm-hmm. We have all learned this lesson. Tony first. I'll give Tony credit. I'll give Tony credit.
Even beyond this, though. Even if it is real, was it that impressive?
And that's the other thing. It wasn't even that impressive for like.
It's not even real, and it's not impressive.
Yeah. It really was not that impressive, and I love my game reveals. I'm excited for this stuff, and I'm excited for the next generation. And it feels like they did nothing to enhance that or drive it forward.
Where's Spencer? Like, what the hell?
I'm just so confused by the messaging, especially because Microsoft should have learned this lesson last time, because we saw how miserable they, first of all, I mean, it was out of their hands with the leak,
sure.
What's his name, Adam Orth or whatever, in the bed of the Xbox One X. But, honestly, this is not how you reveal the first look at your games of your new console coming out.
No.
I'm sorry. That's fine. I get you want to help your partners out and give them some spotlight. You don't start with this. Start off with one of your premier games. I'm not saying it has to be Halo, maybe Gears, even Forza. I mean, Forza's a great tech, showcase and stuff like that. But you get their appetite wet, with a first-party game, and you'd be like, hey, here's some stuff our partners are working on. Go through this, and then end with, hey, here's one last thing to get you wanting the next month's Xbox 2020 or whatever like that. And then you could end on Halo or a new IP, Fable, or resurrected IP, whatever like that. This was just a wet fart, in my opinion. Like, honestly, if I had just watched this without context, like, hey, this is Xbox Series X first gameplay world reveals, I would have been like,
yeah. I didn't think anything looked good. There was not a lot of gameplay.
There was nothing memorable, that's for sure.
I mean, here's the games that were announced: Yakuza Like a Dragon, which we knew was coming already. The game was Yakuza 7, so that's Yakuza 7 over in overseas. It's on PlayStation 4 right now. It'll be a launch title for Series X. It'll support smart delivery, which is good. Now, this smart delivery feature is awesome,
and it still looks like a 360 game.
But I don't think they even described what smart delivery was during this conference. They just said smart delivery, and it's like,
smart delivery is part of my.
So what is smart delivery, Jim?
Smart delivery is if you buy the game on the Xbox One, you now own that version and the version coming out in the Xbox Series X automatically. No upgrade fees, it's yours. And that's a great feature to have, but explain that.
Why are you calling it smart delivery? There's nothing smart about it. It's checking, hey, do you own this? You get the free upgraded version.
Yeah.
Smart delivery. What is smart and what is
Why not just call it like Xbox Series X upgrade? Why not just call it that? Why
call
not
it X upgrade.
Yeah.
X upgrade. Or
X up. X up. X up.
X upgrade.
X up. But yeah, so Yakuza was announced. They had a really weird trailer for. Did you notice these trailers were just fucking like sick sometimes, or they're just really fucking. There's a lot of psychological horrors.
Well, that's that series franchise. It's funny seeing that now that I know.
Vampire the Masquerade.
Oh.
What?
Vampire the Masquerade is pretty popular in.
I was talking about Vampire the Masquerade, but Yakuza looked. I mean, it looks fine, but I mean, Vampire the Masquerade looked fucking weird, and I thought it was maybe maybe it was like Rocksteady showing Batman with like the Joker, crazy Joker intro, and I'm like, maybe, but no, this is just some weird vampire game with a guy stringing up people and smiling faces.
Yeah, what? There's like 18 subtitles in that. Like it's Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines
2. Yeah.
And I don't even know what this series is. I always considered it like a B tier thing, and the animations looked pretty bad for the cinematics in that.
Yeah. That game looked terrible. They had, I mean, that was the biggest thing I saw on Twitter was the comparisons between Vampire the Masquerade versus The Last of Us 2. And I'm just like, The Last of Us 2 destroyed it in terms of graphics.
Yeah, I mean, Vampire the Masquerade is like
you're giving people fuel for a fire.
It's not a big game.
It's a live premiere with this. You're giving people fuel for the fire.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah,
it's stupid. Like, I don't think any of the games that they showed was like, damn, I need to get an Xbox Series X now because of this game.
Yeah.
None of that.
I mean, let's see. The Medium was revealed as a psychological horror game from the studio behind Blair Witch. Let's see.
No one has any idea what that is, though, actually, based on that trailer.
The Ascent. Was the Medium the one with like the person doing the abortion and like the video or something? Was that the Medium?
Was that what was happening?
I don't know. It was just fucking
She looked
weird.
pretty far along. I don't know if that was.
Yeah.
That.
The Ascent, which is a top-down shooter, which actually looked fun, but that's like one of those games like that right there is like a launch title where I just said that looks fun, so maybe I'll buy it. That kind of thing. Like if there's nothing out there, it
reminded me of like that Hunter game that we played.
Yes, it reminds me of Hunter. Yeah, I thought that looked fun.
That was interesting. I was like, yeah, but that's something I would see on like Xbox Arcade or something.
Exactly. Second Extinction, which is a shooter 3-player co-op action game.
Shoot dinosaurs. It looks like.
We've got the Scorn was the first game shown, and Corey, like
that's been out for PC for a while.
I thought the first game was that Infinity thing, or whatever.
Yeah, that one. That was that actually looked the most interesting to me.
Like the wind blowing like crazy.
Bright Memory Infinite.
The one where it has like gunplay, a tether thing, and swordplay all mixed together.
Action game mechanics. I thought it was gonna be like Crisis or something, but yeah, that looked actually pretty good for the first game reveal. That one didn't look bad. You get to drive a car. You got wind effects going on. That looked not so. That didn't.
It was all done by one guy.
Yeah, yeah.
Best looking one.
But Scorn, Corey, tell me how the aliens create, like the artist guy there is not suing these people for artwork infringement, because it looks just like he made. I thought he worked on this game. What's his name?
HG or
Greiger, yeah, something like that. His stuff looks just like that.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely alien vibe. Scarlet Nexus, which is a game from Bandai Namco, which is an anime style game. Does support smart delivery, so it'll be out in the Xbox One. Let's see, we had Madden NFL 21.
Does it support curbside pickup?
Again, what game here have I listed? What game besides that first game showed gameplay? Besides the
Dirt 5 showed gameplay.
What was that?
I didn't get to Dirt 5 yet. I said Bright Memory. Bright Memory showed gameplay, but the other games I've announced here, they're not showing.
Was it really though? That's again, like we really don't know. Like they're all just
in-engine
designed for this. Garbage.
What was the isometric cyberpunk one?
Chorus? No, wait, is that? It was Chorus, right?
Chorus was the one with the spaceship.
Yeah, that was
very forgettable games. Like, listen, I appreciate new IPs. I do appreciate new IPs for the next generation. Absolutely. These are not a game. Again, this goes back to my point of this is not how you open for a reveal.
Mm-hmm. No. Yeah. No. I mean, I totally agree.
Call of the Sea was another one that was revealed.
That looks like a point-and-click adventure game almost.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Like, we got to have types of, all kinds of games for all audiences and stuff like that. But again, you took what should have been a 5-minute sizzle reel and stretched out to like 30 minutes and touted it as like world exclusive premiere. It's like
gameplay. Putting the word gameplay in there, really.
How is it?
I've been attacking that shit for years. You guys heard me, It's just like, but it's like now finally people are like, that wasn't gameplay. I'm like, holy shit, where have you guys been for years?
Well, it's not even like there's no pressure for them to even like. Again, this is their own time constraints now. This isn't an E3 show. This isn't matched up against someone else specifically to compete. This was in their control. They could control the messaging and the timing, and they said gameplay, and they did this. I don't get it.
I just don't understand what Microsoft is thinking because, like, here it is. We're halfway through May now, so pretty much half of the year is gone. You're going to be launching these consoles in 3-4 months, and you show the box, you show the controller, and you show some third-party games. Like, what are you doing, man? Like, what are you doing? Like, when are you going to start ramping up your marketing for any of this stuff? And not to mention, like, and this is the double-edged sword here, where, like, look, I love the Game Pass idea. I love the fact that there's the upgrade option with the smart delivery or whatnot. But right now, it's like any of those games I am interested in, any of those games I'm interested in playing, I could play on my One X.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, and then, like, obviously then they showed Valhalla as well, finally, which was supposed to be gameplay, but what did we get, like 3 seconds of gameplay in the game?
Yeah.
In a trailer. They're like, here come, they hyped it up the entire time, like, here's some premiere gameplay for Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and there was, like, literally 3 seconds of gameplay in this game.
Yeah, and you know what? I feel like that's kind of even hurt the games, like, just a week earlier when it was announced, there was like good feelings about this game, and then because of its lack of gameplay, like when it was supposed to be gameplay, like a week later, people were like, "Oh, okay." I feel like it hurt Valhalla.
Yeah, absolutely. They had to apologize on Twitter for that, so I think this whole thing was botched, and it brings us into the next part. Like, how much does this hurt this system going forward? Can they recover from this enough, or?
Sure. I mean, I think I could recover, but like. Fucking the next one has to blow people away, like absolutely blow people away, because this is like they had the first strike opportunity because Sony isn't doing shit. They're not doing shit.
They're not doing anything. As we talk about Microsoft, we've got nothing from them. Yeah.
Right. Well, this is the time where they could be, showing off their next gen games and be excited about Xbox, and it's like, hey, here's some AA, video games, blah, blah, blah. It's like. Dude, what the fuck? Like, none of that's competing with Last of Us. None of that is competing with Ghost of Tsushima. Like, you don't throw that against the heavy hitter, number one person in the room. Like, what are you doing? You're wasting your opportunity. Because now, if Sony, between this and their next Xbox 2020 or whatever the fuck they're calling it, if Sony comes out and shows off, Horizon 2, let's just say Uncharted 5, Spider-Man 2, Bloodborne,
God of War, whatever, yeah.
God of War, whatever.
They have so many bullets.
Like, don't you think?
So many people in the chamber.
I really think if Sony did that like right now, they did it in June. Like we know we're not getting any more news from Microsoft until July. So let's say we had a console reveal from Sony in June that showed, oh, by the way, Horizon 2 at launch and Spider-Man 2 at launch. Here they are. That would just destroy this whole thing.
Yeah. The thing with this reveal that I don't understand is that they, like we've been talking about, the first party games need to come out, but even if you're going to show third party games, like show games that are going to give us an idea of what makes this system different and what sets it apart from what you already have.
At this point you need to see something that's like, why do I want to spend like $800 for this game?
A lot of these, that's the problem, is how are they going to get these new features across to people like Mike, for instance, who doesn't know the load time differences or
that's what I'm saying. It's like all
ray tracing.
I can measure time. I don't know what that.
I'm not saying no. I'm just saying like the ray tracing features. Like you're not gonna.
That's what they needed to do. Is like if they're gonna do third party stuff, like talk about the features. Like what makes this different? Like it's ray tracing. We're gonna talk a little about ray tracing, and then show you a game that features it.
Spend time on a game and show like here's Valhalla running on the system. Look at the ray tracing in this section. Here's how it would look on the Xbox One, and here's how it looks here.
Do a side-by-side comparison. This is what it's going to look like on the One X if you have it, to not piss those people off, because there's always going to be a small minority that's going to be like, oh, I wanted to purchase a $200 Xbox One and not even X, I never wanted to upgrade that. And it's like, here's what it's going to run like on the One or even the One X, and here's it running on the Xbox Series X with ray tracing enabled. Put a side by side, put that clear picture there, so there's no fucking confusion. Show, hey, this is the load time. Exactly.
The load time. Load time is simple to show.
And here's what I think, and maybe I'm wrong as someone who can't measure load times. To me, because they didn't do that, I think, it's not really going to be that impressive.
Yeah, I know it's going to be like, that's the point of solid state. I know how good that's going to be, but like show the damn thing. Well, that's what I meant. That's what I meant with my statement. Like, I understand you can see the differences of load times. I get it, but like I know the load times are going to be better because of solid state just by itself. Like it's not possible for not.
So why wouldn't they show it then?
Exactly, right, but that's why it's got you questioning that.
Of course.
I already know the load times are gonna be at least half of what we're expecting.
Terrible, as far as reveals go.
When I tell somebody to buy a new computer, Mike, I say before you do that, maybe go get a solid state drive for your computer. You'll be surprised at how much that can improve the performance. Yeah. I do that all the time. That's how much it really improves. It makes your computer like new. It really does.
But the thing is, to me, is like I just hate this slow drip from both Sony and Microsoft. Like I'm not like. I'm going to move away from Microsoft now because I think we talked about it. But just the fact that it's like let's look at Sony. It's like, hey guys, here's the controller. It's like, cool. It looks like a controller that you've released four times before.
Hey guys, here's Mark Cerny talking for an hour.
The Mark Cerny thing. Like, here's him doing it. And I'm not going to blame too much because that was supposed to be for games overconfidence. But like, still, like,
but don't invite everybody to that though. Like, invite your game developers. That was bad. Exactly. That was bad.
That was a bad decision. And it's like now it's like, oh, we're unifying under Sony Studios. I get that, great. There's the thing, but like, dude, show us what the box looks like. Show us some fucking games. Give us a target release date, like just something. And I get a lot of that is out of the control with COVID and stuff like that. But like, this is absolute, not even bare minimum information that we need.
The thing that I've heard from Sony is that their holdup right now is their board is not even meeting because they have no way to do it digitally. Explain that. But that's what's going on. Their board has not met since they've locked down.
Yeah.
So they're not doing any meetings.
I can believe that because Japan,
I know,
even though as tech savvy as they are in a lot of ways, their business traditional is like, hey, you come into the office, you work. Like work from home is like not really an option for them and stuff like that. So like, oh, we have to have webcams and meetings online and Zoom or Skype or whatever. No, they don't know how to do that.
Yeah. And that's what I've heard. They have not met at all since the whole thing locked. And Microsoft has been doing the virtual meetings, so they're able to move forward with their stuff. But that's the worst part is they're able to meet and plan this shit, and this is what we got.
But it's still just so frustrating because, like, I'm sorry, this is not how you do leading up to a new console generation. Like, if your purpose is to drum up excitement. Because, here's the thing. Like, no matter what, really, like, my stance is going to be like, okay, yeah, it's what I expect. It's going to be a marginal upgrade from my PlayStation 4 and my Xbox One X. And yeah, like the SSD is going to be the most noticeable improvement for me. Like ray tracing, I can do two shits about. 4K, I still don't have a 4K TV. Like it's not going to matter to me. So like me, it's just like, why am I going to spend bare minimum, $400+?
It's $500.
Right. Most
it's
likely,
$500.
I know. I'm giving the benefit of the doubt. Like I'm just going with like like hey, I'm just trying to throw him a bone here. Why am I going to spend this money? And they're not showing any reason at all to get it.
Mm-hmm. No, and that's my biggest issue with this reveal, air quotes, because who cares? Like, we know games are games. Show us gameplay then, and show us why this system is going to be better than what you already have.
Even if they took these, let's say they want to do third-party reveal, and they wanted to dive into, like, why not spend an hour on this reveal and actually go into, say, okay, here's Madden running on the Xbox Series X. And
you don't even need an hour. Like half hour is fine. It just wasted so much time. With
they could dive into it and really give us some actual looks at games.
They had the football player being like, "Hey, power the Xbox Series X." Yeah. Pat Mahomes. They said like some bullshit like, "Oh, if you buy it on the One X, you get it."
That one was really bad because like Madden, and then just show like every Madden before the Madden we're gonna get. It's like, I know what these look like already.
What's worse from that conversation? What's worse from that is like last year's. I couldn't tell when they started showing the new Madden at some point. Mm-hmm. I was like, is this the new one or is that the new one? Or...
The only reason I knew is because it showed him as the guy. I was like, oh, I guess this is the new one because it's him now.
They look very similar though the last few years.
But again, it all points to. You're just not, to the layperson, they're not going to notice quantifiable difference just by looking at gameplay, and it almost seems like they're going to hide that, and that just by the way that they're not talking about that one-to-one comparison here. And
it's odd because, like, obviously, like we've talked about, Sony has so many exclusives. Franchises that have been very successful on PlayStation 4 that they can just now move into PlayStation 5, and Microsoft hasn't had that. So like, what is happening here? Like, what are we getting excited for? What is the draw? Is it the streaming service that you're gonna have? Is it exclusive games that you're gonna start pumping out with all these studios you're buying up? It's like,
who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah.
I mean,
and like Tony was saying, we're
really
just not getting any news about it.
They really got to play up their smart delivery thing. Too bad it sounds like a delivery for takeout option, but that's the one thing. That's like the only thing I can think of that they could possibly have going for it. But it also makes me think, oh, they're willing to do this, so maybe there's not a huge difference between the versions anyway. Again,
you might get a small resolution bump. Maybe the ray tracing bullshit, which
you'll get frame rate. You get frame rate. You should get frame rate, but how bad is Valhalla going to run if it can't run it over 30 frames on the Series X?
Well, at 4K. Again, maybe there's a different mode.
I love just performance mode. Give me 1080p at 60 FPS. I'll take that. I'll take that every day. I'll do it every day.
Yeah.
A lot of newer games have, like PlayStation games have it. Like God of War has the performance mode.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I remember God of War had 4K 30 frames or 1080 60 frames, and I remember that. And so that's the line on this generation. Now
Last of Us Remaster had that too.
And this is next generation, and we still have that line. Is that what we're gonna get here?
Well,
like,
also,
what's the fucking point?
This is the other thing, and this is why.
Give me a solid-state external drive, and I'll load the games just as fast almost.
No, and everything still kind of probably developed for this current gen still, especially these third-party things.
100%. 100%. They targeted Xbox One X and PlayStation 4 Pro and just cranked up
up-res that shit. Yeah.
Like we remember last generation, it took like 2 years before like a truly like next-gen game happened. It seemed like. So I wouldn't be surprised again here. Like, we're not going to get those big jumps anymore. Obviously, there's diminishing returns, like we've been saying for the last few generations. But
we'll always have that.
It's going to diminish more, I think.
Yeah, I think what's happening is we're going to see less and less, and it's a matter of when do you think it's time personally to upgrade? And that's why I think Microsoft's model works in trying to get you into a subscription and not worrying about what console you buy. I think that's what they're going for.
Yeah, that's fine. But, at the same time, like, right now we're in the middle of COVID. Nobody's going out. Like, you could easily just own like all of social media for a day or a weekend or a week, if you just come out with a strong presentation, make people talk about one or two, just even one game, one fucking Animal Crossing is fucking all over social media right now.
Yeah,
and it's not even running above 1080p. But fucking, you could own social media, and if you wanted to, like, because I get it, the price is going to be expensive, bare minimum $500. But tell people that now, so they can start fucking saving up their money rather than be like, we're just going to dance around this, elephant in the room that, hey, we don't know how much the price is going to be in November, or, let's just say November. It's like, what are you doing? Like, either treat this as a half-step measure, like you did the Xbox One X, where it's like, hey, it's just the next step up. And that's fine. If that's their marketing, go with it. Embrace it. But like,
I think you need to in this situation, though.
Right.
I mean,
that would be fine.
What are we, like, 5 months out at this point?
Yeah, apparently. We don't know exactly, but around that point.
Who knows?
November-ish, yeah.
So,
supposedly it's coming this year.
It's pretty soon, and it just seems like the messaging almost is we're hiding stuff from you. Like,
right,
we don't want you to know what exactly this is going to be.
We're not ready, and that's what Sony's showing too. Sony's not to me what Sony's saying, since they have not even revealed the console look yet. They have no idea what it looks like yet. They haven't finalized the case. They haven't finalized the look, which is at this point in the game. How are you that far behind? If you're that far behind, why are you even coming out with a system like trying this year? Why?
Just because Microsoft did it.
My bold prediction of worst launch in decades could be true here.
Oh, I absolutely think it is. Like, I mean, here's the thing. Like, again, it's gonna come down to games. Like, the only way I could upgrade for either system if it's like, hey, like, I don't know, Bloodborne 2, Spider-Man 2, Day 1 launch title. And it's exclusive. Like, I can't.
That's where they get. That's where they get me. Yeah, if it's like Horizon, Spider-Man, Day 1 exclusive for PlayStation 5, I'm like, well, fuck.
That'd be a long way at this point. You're gonna launch with fucking Knack 3 or like what's that game I always get confused? Resistance or what the hell?
Killzone.
Killzone. I always get those mixed up.
Yeah,
like you're gonna launch with fucking Killzone. Yeah. It's like that. That's not gonna make me go, because again, like Mike said, like I got the PS4 in like spring after the launch. And what I'm playing was the free PS Plus titles. There's nothing on the system.
Resogun.
Yeah, Resogun.
Resogun, Rocket League.
Right, and I think Strider, and then Destiny came out like almost a year later, and I played that for like a month, and it's like, oh, I'm not into this grind, Bungie. And
yeah,
I don't know. I guess it was until
Arkham Knight. For me, at least, it seemed
like
Arkham Knight was the first next gen game on the system.
Yeah. So, I don't know. There's some fixes that can happen in the next like month or two. We can talk a lot better about this if we have a good reveal.
I mean, they could totally blow this all away and make this whole argument irrelevant if they do the right thing.
But right now, like, I'm just not confident in that.
No, I agree. And do we like the slow trickle?
No, I hate it.
I don't like it. I don't like it either.
So,
give us a roadmap. Give us a roadmap.
You could do this third-party thing could have been done in July, and then you should have started with your first-party stuff today, like last week. That's what it should have been. Like, if you want to give us that sizzle reel crap in July, that's fine with me. But show us the system.
I'm almost a little surprised that these companies
give us your E3 conference.
Had this much sway to get like this type of exposure for some of these games.
I mean, give us your E3 conference. They hadn't been planning one.
Yeah, I mean, I guarantee it was Microsoft giving them an olive branch because, let's be honest, Microsoft is coming from a weak position from this generation, and they're just like, hey, we want to give you guys the spotlight. We're going to give you guys a month head start that you guys are going to be the first Xbox games ever to be revealed for the Series X. For almost all these, I'm not going to call them indie, but I'm not certainly going to call them AAA devs because they're not. But like they're all like AA. They're stuck between large and small. For them, that's a boon. Like you can't buy that kind of exposure. Yeah. With Sony, Sony's gonna be like, again, any one of their first-party titles that like sells 10+ million units and stuff like that. Microsoft just coming from the weak position, and they just are squandering their opportunity. It's just a shame because this is just like, I don't know. If it was just one of them doing it, I could be okay. Like, hey, you know what? Somebody, one of them needs to finalize their plans, smooth some things out and stuff like that. But it's both of them, and I'm just like, how are we coming into the next generation with such little hype and buzz? Right? I mean, I can't think of another launch that was so pathetic leading up to it.
So far, yeah. If this isn't correct course, it's going to be quite. I'm not getting it at this point. I'm not getting the next system at all. So there's no reason to. Like, I have my Xbox One X. That's fine with me. Yeah, my PlayStation 4 doesn't get turned on much at all anymore. I just realized I haven't been paying for PlayStation Plus in probably like 2 years. There's 0 things I'm playing on that. And I played Final Fantasy VII recently. That was the last. Like, I haven't played anything since Spider-Man was the last game I actually completed on the PlayStation. So. Like, I'm just not going to upgrade right now. It's just they're going to not get my dollars until they actually show some stuff that's worth it. So we'll see. I mean, we got time. It's supposed to be November-ish. So
we all agree. We're all disappointed. Thumbs down. Now.
Thumbs down. This is a thumbs
down.
There's nothing. There's nothing.
I give this reveal a D-.
Yeah. I gave it a C- at first, and I'm like, yeah, it's probably a D. It really probably is. So, all right. That's going to wrap up this episode. Thanks for tuning in. You can write us podcast at allyoucangeek.net. Follow us on Twitter, allyoucangeek. Like us on Facebook. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and the like button. We appreciate it. See you guys next week with some more topics, deep dives coming up. We've got more lists coming up, so tune in then. We appreciate it. Stay safe. Thanks.